Today, we're going to talk about how you can use AI to rewrite any blog post and how you can use AI to rewrite hundreds of blog posts at once. So first, let's find a blog post to rewrite. So I'm on the Ironclad website. Ironclad is an AI contract management tool. So I'm just going to pick one of their blog posts. Let's just pick the first one, which is AI for legal teams, the no nonsense guide. So you can see here, there's lots of good content. Maybe I want to repurpose this or use it as an input into another blog post. So what I need to do is first copy that URL, go back to make.com, and I will drag in the make HTTP make module. I will do a basic request. I need to set the method to get and paste in my URL. And let's quickly run that to make sure that works. Great. So it's a status code 200, which means it's working, and I get the HTML back. Next step, as you would know if you've seen a couple of my videos, is we need to turn the HTML into text. Just because passing in all the HTML to the large language model or the AI is not very helpful for our purposes. So I'll use the text parser, put in the HTML, which is the data, and let's run that again just to make sure it works. And great, we've got the text. There's still a little bit of noise, which you can filter out if you want to, but for the most part, this is just the content from the blog post. Once I have that, I can use this to pass into the AI model. If you've been watching my videos, you know I like the Anthropic Claude 3 class of models. I'll be using that. You can also use OpenAI GPT 3.5 or GPT 4 if you do want to, as long as it's a large language model, should work. So I'm going to use Opus, which is the best. You could probably get away with a cheaper model, but for purposes of this tutorial, let's stick with Opus. And then what I'm going to do is say, you are a social media manager. You are writing tweets. Now let's do blog posts. So you'll see here I'm turning the input into a blog post, but you can see depending on how you prompt this, you can turn your scraped information into tweets, you can turn it into an Instagram post, you can turn it into reels. It's really up to you what you want to do. For this, I'm just going to turn it into a post. So that's the system prompt, and then for the user prompt, I need to pass in the actual text. And yeah, the user will give you some information which you should use to write a long form article. Use a conversational tone and explain key terms you use. So now, if I run through everything, I should get a rewritten version of this blog post. Great. And now we have the output, which is this long string, which is a new blog post that I can use anywhere. And so like this sort of process can be used to repurpose content. So like I said before, you can turn that blog post into a shorter blog post or medium maybe, or you want to turn it into a tweet thread or a long tweet. You can turn it into a TikTok or a reel. Really, it's up to you on how creative you want to be with it. You can turn it into a newsletter as well. That one took a bit long to run, so I'm going to actually change it to haiku just for this tutorial so we don't have to wait so long. But if I was doing this tutorial, I'd probably use the best model to get the best quality output. Cool. So this is how you do it for one blog post. But like I said at the beginning of the video, what if you want to do it for lots of blog posts? Right. So let's work on that now. So first, what you need to do is create a Google Sheet and then create a list of all the blog posts that you want to rewrite. So here I've got a list of 3, but really you can sort of make it as long as you want. And what we need to do is kind of repurpose what we're doing here, right? So we need a Google Sheets block now. Google Sheets. And we need to search rows. And we need to bring that in at the beginning now. So here, I'm going to select that spreadsheet, which is called blog post to rewrite. Select the sheet and then select the column range. It's really only the first 3 columns. And then I'm going to choose how many I want to return. Let's just return 3 because I only have 3, but depending on how much you want to write at once, you can return. I'd recommend starting with a lower number until you've tested your flow before you write 1,000 at once. Got the Google Sheet. It should return the first 3 rows. What I need to do then is I need to put this into an iterator. So maybe I'll just quickly run this first module just to see what the output looks like. You can see I've got 3 different bundles, which is exactly what I want. So next I need to turn this into an array. So to do that, I'm going to aggregate just the URL. That's all I need. And then if I just move everything across, I'm going to iterate through each of those URLs. So let's drag in an iterator to chuck in the array that we've got here. And then we're going to need to update this. So instead of the URL I pasted in, I'm going to use the URL that's coming out of the iterator. So each of the 3 URLs. And then everything here should stay the same. And after this, I should have 3 different blog posts. And for each one, I'm just going to write it back to the spreadsheet in the new content column. So I need to update the same row in Google Sheets. I added Google Sheets. I need to update the row. So I'm going to say, let me set up the spreadsheet first. Sheet 1, then which row I'm doing. So I need to get the row. So to get that, I need to come back here, make sure I'm getting the row number in my aggregation, which is good. And once I have the row number, I can reference it. So for row number, save that. Looking good, looking good. Come here. Searching here to get the row number. For now, let's just do bundle position. The content will be the text response. Cool. So what this should be doing is it pulls the 3 URLs from the Google Sheets, breaks it up into an array so we can iterate through each of the URLs, and then it runs the 3 blocks we walked through before and then writes it back to the Google Sheet. So let's test if that actually works. So hopefully Anthropic runs a bit faster this time because we're using the cheaper model. Yep, and it's writing back. So you can see it's writing right back into the spreadsheet. So it looks like I've got my column, my rows mismatched, but that's a pretty easy fix, which I'll do now. So let me just quickly pause this before it does it again. Full stop. And then let's update this one. So this should actually say row number, not bundle order position. And that should be right. So if I run it now, it will sort of match up the rows properly. And yeah, so that's the overall process. And you can use this, as I said, to repurpose content in bulk. I know I sort of went through that pretty quickly, so I'd recommend giving this video another rewatch, just so you understand everything that I've done. But if you have any questions or ideas for what I should build next, please do leave a comment and I'll try my best to get back to you.